Alright guys, the Sony WH-1000XM4 and the Bose NCH 700s. Let's go. Both of these headphones represent the best of active noise cancelling, but sometimes the worst. Which one's the right one for you? Let's have a real conversation. Goedendag. Let's take our famous approach and we're going to start with extras because that's where most of the action is with the Sonys. Alright, so with most headphones you can cycle through noise cancelling levels and that's nothing new. But what Sony offers is something called speak to chat. Basically means that it's able to recognize when the person is speaking and will pause the audio and let in ambient sounds so you can have a real conversation with people. This can also be achieved with a quick attention, so tapping and holding the right ear cup. They work quite well. We actually did a test where I was creeping up behind Rohan while he was wearing the headphones and trying to talk really loud. Didn't do anything until he started to speak. Only then did speak to chat get activated. So pretty impressive. Some may say it's a gimmick, but we think it'll be useful depending on the situation you're in. If you're in an office space with a lot of people talking around you and maybe asking you questions, probably not so ideal. But if you're in a commute on your own, perfect. Bose offers something similar and they call it conversation mode. The way to activate it is you hold down the noise cancelling button for about a second.
So that's it? That's how close it needs to be?
You still have to use a hand and click that noise cancelling button. The one thing about Bose that's a real pain in the app is its software. The connection of the headphones to the app isn't always first time right, and we've had this problem since we've gotten our hands on the NCH 700s. And even at the time of this comparison, we weren't able to connect to the Bose Music app. And Bose has recently really been struggling since they've released a number of updates, actually 4 updates, in a span of 12 days in the month of May of this year, trying to fix multiple issues. One of the issues that they tried to fix was the audio stuttering when it was connected to multiple devices on PC or Mac. And the other issue had to do with reduced battery life, even though the headphones were charged fully. Whereas Sony's app works fine, and it supports Android's fast pair. So Android's fast pair is very comparable to how AirPods work with Apple devices. So you turn on the headphones and your Android phone will automatically detect the headphones and allow you to connect to them. What this feature also gives you is the ability to find your misplaced headphones by sending a very loud sound to the headphones. All right, D for design. Come on, take a look at them. They take the cake for looks, for sure. The Bose look a lot more modern and they come with a lot more color options. Both Sony and Bose offer touch controls, but we felt that the Bose were just slightly more responsive. And speaking of battery life, the Bose offers 20 hours with ANC and the Sony's 30 hours with ANC and 38 without. While it is a significant difference, it doesn't make or break the purchase decision in our opinion. All right, C for calling. And again, Bose. If you haven't seen the mic quality test comparison that we did between the Bose 700s, the Sony XM4s, the Sony XM3s, and Microsoft Surface Headphones 2, check that out. Linked up here and down below in the description. So the Bose 700s do really well in phone call mic quality in all conditions, whether that be quiet, noisy, or windy. And the Sonys have a hard time, but do okay in quiet environments. But for a detailed look into the mic quality, we really suggest taking a look at that other video. And if you like hearing the sound of your own voice, not me, Bose offers a feature called self-voice, so it enables you to hear your own voice while you're on a phone call. Sony doesn't offer such a feature. What Sony also doesn't offer, but the Bose does, is the ability to mute when on phone calls by pressing the voice assistant button. It's really strange that Sony hasn't invested in voice call features because it doesn't have a mute button, it doesn't have a self-voice option. Why? Is it because they already knew that the voice calling would be bad on the XM4s? Maybe there's no AI in calling and that's what they're all about? Who knows? All right, moving to B for build and comfort. So starting off with build, we're happy to say that the XM4's materials have really been upgraded and they're creak-free. Whether they're crack-free, time will tell. The NCH 700s are Bose's first iteration with a new design and a headband adjustment system. You adjust the headband by pushing the spine up and down across the ear cups. They're also entirely creak-free, but a step back is the fact that they are not foldable, which makes their case bigger than that of the Sonys. The XM4's clamp is much lighter on the ears and jaw than the Bose, and the cushions feel softer. The XM4s also do a better job at heat management around your auditory organs, so that's an added bonus. All right, A for audio. We got noise cancelling and sound quality. For noise cancelling, we're going to be doing a detailed review and a comparison So stay tuned and be subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on that video. However, when we tested it with our own ears, it was clear that the XM4 was the winner, especially with more irregular and higher pitched sounds. The lower end rumble of engines and vacuum cleaners was equally good on both devices, but overall it's not a big difference. We've said it before and we'll say it again. We've said it before and we'll say it again. If you want the best audio quality, don't go for Bluetooth headphones. Even though Bluetooth audio has come a long way over the last couple of years, nothing beats a good old wire. But having said that, these two sound very good for this category. They also have their own strengths and weaknesses, so let's run through them. We tested both of these headphones wired and wireless. The Sony sounds better wired, but let's be real, you're not buying these headphones to be used wired only. We use this with Spotify and some FLAC files. The bottom line, the Sony wins. The Bose shows some muddiness in the bass and mids on a track like Slipknot's Unsainted, even with FLAC. Compression artifacts are still audible. Mids are not their strong suit, as vocals on a song like Massive Attack's Unfinished Sympathy stand out less and instruments take the center stage. The soundstage isn't very wide and the Bose struggles with instrument separation. Everything sounds very smushed together. Sony's soundstage, on the other hand, sounded almost too wide, even while doing great on imaging. The Bose also doesn't do as good as the Sony on volume. For me, Sony on iOS was too loud at 60 to 80%, whereas on the Bose, this was at the 80 to 100% mark. The bass response is a bit tighter than the Sony, and the highs are a bit too emphasized. Sony offers the LDAC on Android. But here's the thing, if you're listening to Spotify, which most of us probably are, AAC is just as good. In fact, even with uncompressed FLAC files on the Google Pixel we tested with, the difference was negligible. So I would just switch off LDAC and keep multiple devices. However, the good news is that even if you do use LDAC, Sony lets you tweak the sound with EQ, which really helps. I personally turn down the clear bass a little bit and boost the higher frequencies. Or you can use the bright preset if you are so inclined. Before wrapping up, keep in mind that the Bose are around $100 cheaper than Sony's XM4s at the time of this video. But for latest prices, check out the links in the description down below. And if this video helps you make a purchase decision, feel free to make use of those links to buy whichever headphones that you choose. It doesn't cost you anything extra and it helps out the channel a little bit. Regardless which headphones you end up choosing, you will be getting multiple device support, touch controls on the ear cups, and a solid build quality with creak-free materials. This brings us to the question, to buy or not to buy? Drum roll please. You should buy the Sony WH-1000XM4s over the Bose NCH 700s if you want a better quality codec on Android and you like it loud. If you want the best ANC out there to cancel out both lower end and higher pitched sounds. If you want relatively better comfort with less pressure around the ears and jaw, including less heat generation. If you find yourself without a charger for longer periods of time and can appreciate the 30+ hours of battery life despite the lockdown situation. And finally, if you need the extra features like Smart Pause when removing your headphones or the Speak to Chat to pause audio and turn on ambient mode, so you can have a conversation with real people. You should buy the Bose NCH 700s over the Sony WH-1000XM4s if you like having some money left over in your wallet. Again, latest prices, links in description. If you like the slightly flatter Bose sound profile, and well, you know what a Bose device sounds like. If you like the better and easier to use headband adjustment system, but don't mind the larger case footprint. If you need headphones that can actually be used seriously with phone calls, and added features like being able to mute calls with a button and hear your own voice while being on a call. And finally, if you want to stand out from the crowd by showing off a futuristic design pair of headphones which come in one of 4 color options. You've not been a pain in the app, and we've been DHRME. Namaste.